Hey, ladies and gents, before I start the video, I want to remind everybody, content creator program still going on. Click that support button, get yourself one free code right now, plus 2 more on the way in the near future before the season end, guys. This video is going to be about how to get your hunters powered up to the max as a free-to-play player or pay-to-win player. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be showing you on my free-to-play account from scratch, all the way from top to bottom, how I get my units from 350 and up on hunters. All right, let's get on with it. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. All right, guys, we are almost there. 2 more days before WOBL hard mode drops, plus Leonard. I'll be doing a full live stream, of course, of the testing in WOBL, as well as the pay-to-win aspect of it, plus the free-to-play aspect, hopefully being able to finish both. And I'm going to do a comparison between wind and water on my pay-to-win account to see which one is actually more successful at WOBL, giving you a better idea if Leonard is worth your time or not after the testing, all right? Now, before I go any further, though, I do want to remind everybody that the actual Cha banner ends. They're not extending it, okay? There's no new shadows apparently being given to us this month, so we're gonna have a little bit of a dry season until the month of July. I think that's when all the big stuff is happening, because that's when the collab is going to start dropping, and I think everything, including the Korean live stream, is going to cover that. Now, one question a lot of you guys have been asking in the comment section is, Payne, how is it possible that on your free-to-play account, you're able to get such high power for your hunters? Now, we've done the SJW breakdown. I'm going to do a full, thorough breakdown of my hunters and how I'm able to achieve the 355k plus on my hunters, and I'm going to show you guys from scratch exactly what I'm doing, okay? So, without further ado, guys, let's get into that. Okay, folks, so I'm just logging in now. I will be going live this morning as well. So if you are catching this video, you might see my notification to go live. Remember, you can join me on my Twitch channel, which is a brand new channel, plus my YouTube channel. I do dual streaming on both. But I do want to do a full breakdown exactly what I'm doing here in order to accomplish all my goals in regards to getting yourself the maximum amount of power that you can get for your hunter. So let's just use Soren as my main example. She's only A5. Okay, so my Soren is A5, my Malin is A5, my Cha is A5. So all these units here, not even A9s, not even A8s, forget about that, okay? I'm going to go strictly A5, because most of you guys can at least accomplish this. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to do a full breakdown. Now, you guys can see right here, my power is at 357. I could technically push it to 360, no problem, but I'm going to show you guys this. Here's my stats, 77.4k HP, attack is 17k, 15k defense. Again, none of that really matters for her except for the HP aspect of it, but crit hit rate is 15k, crit hit damage is 172, defense spends 23, and damage increases 27. So let me go over everything that makes up power for you guys. I'm going to unequip all of her stuff. We're going to just take it all off. We're going to go butt naked here, and we're going to go right from scratch. All right, so let's just go ahead and do unselect all. We're going to take it all off. I'm going to take this off as well, too, so unselect all here. I'll spend a little bit of gold. It's not a big deal. Unselect all. And then we're going to go from scratch. Okay, so here are my skills. Here is my setup. Here is everything. You guys can see. Now, if I take all that off, I'm a 59.902. Now, what is that comprised of, right? Of course, the level 110 will give you some power. That's clear. We know this is true. And now we're going to go over to the gems, and gems will also add power to it. So all my gems are right here. You guys can see these are all my gems. They're maxed out. If you want to see my full information, here's my information: 19%, 23%, 7%, 10.740, etc. Right? So this is all of my stuff that's currently in my gem section. So I'm going to leave this here for you guys for 1 sec so you guys can see that. So this is what's comprising my power right now. Right? So where is the rest of the 300k that makes up the difference? Well, I'm going to show you guys, right? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a full thorough breakdown of everything that makes a character strong. So first off, 59.9. Okay, if we add in the weapon, you guys can see here that adds in 19k. All right, this is an A10 weapon. So A10 weapon will give your unit 19.9, say 20k. Let's just round it up to 20k. So you're going to get 20k more power from the weapon. Okay, that's one breakdown right there for you. Now we're going to go one piece at a time. All right, we're going to go one piece at a time to give you guys a thorough understanding of what level 100 gear does for you. Now it's going to vary for everybody, of course, based on your stats. Now this is an HP percentage one with crit hit rate, additional HP, and damage increase, and defense pen. Okay, so it's a pretty good piece. Ideally, you'd want additional HP to be here and then HP percentage to be down here, but this is the piece that I had, so we're going to put this one on. You guys are going to see the difference. So that gave, that alone, that one piece alone right there gave me 19,000. This was the same amount as my weapon. All right, same amount as my weapon. Now, the only thing to remember with weapons is after A5, the back end, the 15% extra attack, defense, and HP is not shown in your power totally. It's shown more in the actual fight. So you are getting 3,000 more power per weapon after A5 to A10. So a total of what? I don't know, like 7, 8, 10k, whatever the case may be. So let's say 10k because it's close enough to it. So you're not really seeing though that 15% on your stat sheet. Remember that passive is not shown. No passives are shown on stat sheets. Okay, so there you guys go right there. That's 19k right there. Now let's add in the chess piece, right? This again has additional HP percentage. Again, not a very good chess piece. I could honestly find probably a better one with more HP in it, but because damage increase and defense pen gives so much power, it's not a bad option. So we're gonna remember flat numbers matter more for hunters. That's what always is the case. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and equip this one. That gave me 22k. Now, why the difference here is because of the damage increase is so much higher, and so is the defense pen. It's much stronger, and the fact that it has additional defense versus a flat or a percentage here. That's a big deal. Okay, so that was 22k. Now we're going to add another piece here. This one here has crit rate +3. This one's out of control in terms of crit rate. Now you're going to see a pretty big difference here. Let's say I added this, right? You'll see here 16k. If I take this out, the crit rate is pretty big, but it has diminishing returns, right? So if I were to put something else with, let's say, damage increase, for example, right? Now this is going to drop. This is going to drop in power because you're going to see that we're going to have attack percentage there instead. And it's not enchanted, but you guys can see 3k only. If I were to enchant this, for example, right? If I want to put more damage increase on this, watch this. I'll show you guys a difference, right? If I put, let's just put a higher end damage increase plus the rest of the stats, you'll see it actually might give me more overall, right? So let's just go here, 815, that's not bad. So we'll go with that one. And then we'll go here, 840, that's pretty good. And then these attacks obviously don't matter to her. The stats are irrelevant to her when it comes down to attack, but if you still enchant it, you're still going to get the power difference, right? So let's just take that, for example, right there. This became a 157, right? And honestly, gear score doesn't matter that much, but I'll show you at least the difference. So flat attack, crit rate, and HPs. Even though this is better for her because of the HP, this is going to give more power most likely because of the damage increase. Oh no, there you go. So it wasn't much of a difference, but you can see here that that really is significant, right? That additional attack is, to be honest with you, that's probably what made the difference, was that additional attack. So this is what I'm trying to show you, is just the flat attack, flat percentages or flat numbers are better for overall hunters. Okay. Now here for the boots, always put in the main stat. Don't worry about crit damage. You don't need it as much because you're going to get a lot of that from the here. You know what we'll do is we'll go to 20 here, and I'll just show you. Crit damage does make a big difference in terms of power. So if you are looking for like more power, you may be better off using the crit damage boots for power purposes, okay? But the HP should actually give you more overall, all right, in terms of stats, and that's what you were looking for. But if I were to say, let's say do this, right? Again, if I'm just trying to pad my stats, literally just pad my stats, you might see more come out of this than you would out of the other one. So let's just test this out together and see what the difference is, okay? Now, MP is not a great stat to have, to be honest. It doesn't give you much power, but again, if I were to say I want to put this on, this gave me 27k. Okay, 27k. Now if I were to replace this for my boots with HP, let's see what the difference is. So this one actually gave more. And again, the reason why behind this, of course, the damage increase again is huge, the attack is huge, the HP percentages are obviously big, and honestly MP consumption reduction is actually pretty decent. So there you guys go. So always have your main stat there. So this right here now puts me at 167k. All right, so you guys can see the additions there are a pretty big deal. Now most of my items will always have usually double stats, HP, double main stats, okay? HP, right? This I've said this many times in my videos. It's always important to double stat your main stat in any artifact. All right, now let's go over to the grid set here. So you guys can see I've got two different ones. I've got here with HP percentage, crit damage, defense pen, and MP rate, and I've got one here with additional HP, attack, crit damage, and HP. So if I were to put either or, let's see, this one gives 21k. All right, now this one here with MP rate is probably going to give me a little less, right? You guys can see also level 71, so that'll make a difference. So make sure it's level 100. Okay, so that gave me 21k. If I go over here now and put the water one on, let's see which one I have here. Water, right? This one here should also give me about 20 something k, 25k for that one. That's a huge one. Again, defense pen, crit damage, HP, pretty big numbers. And then over here you see HP percentage, additional HP, right? And then this one unfortunately has MP recovery rate, which we don't want. So we can try to do this one and see what happens. Okay, so that one not as good. You guys can see the HP one, although we do have more additional HP there, the 3,000 versus the 4,000. And you guys can see HP one is 13% versus 25%. So I mean, we can test this one out as well and just kind of see what the numbers look like, right? Again, this is flat versus HP percentage. We'll see if there's a big significant drop in the numbers. Now, the other stats are better, I think, on the other one as well, but we're gonna find out right now. Let me just get this up. real quick. Okay, there's 115's not bad. We'll stick with that. So this one, that's a pretty good number. And let's go ahead with this one. Again, the attack doesn't matter for her, right? But again, it's the numbers that we're looking at. So 162 versus 142. So watch this. If I put this one on, that gave 20.069. If I change this now to this one, and just to show you guys the HP difference, right? 60K right there, 60.4. If I switch it over to the other one, which has a higher score, right? 162, you guys can see that. Let's see what happens. Look, I lost 2K, right? And I lost some HP. So you guys can see then because of that extra additional HP, the +2 there, it made a big difference. So we're going to stick with this one. Even though the item score is lower, this one gives you more, right? Just to show you guys can see that. And then lastly, we have here the earrings of burning greed. This one gives HP +3. If I put that one on, we went from 59K with the weapon, from 79K from the weapon to 281. So it's about an increase of 190K in power. 190K in power just from artifacts alone. All right, there you guys go. That's visual right there. And then lastly, what makes up the difference now, of course, is going to be your cores, right? So cores are going to be the next part that's going to make a massive difference. Now, again, flat ones are always going to be better. All right, so always put on flat. You guys can see right there that was that power there. If I were to take SJWs, which has more stats than mine, right, you'll see right here, it drops quite a bit, right? So your flat numbers are always going to be better. All right, so you guys can see 6K from that, right? And then if I put on this one, which let's just say additional defense damage increase, 23K from that. That was, by the way, 6K difference. If I take that off again and re-equip it, you'll see the difference there, 23K. All right, so that's 23K there. This was 26K. And then lastly over here, we're going to put on this one, which is going to be maxed out. And again, has flat numbers. That's 29K, giving you a total of 351,696. Now, there was a little, now you guys can see my skills here are also a little bit off. 7. If I get these all to 10, you see a much bigger percentage there. These are a little off as well, too. Let's just say I wanted to switch this over to, like, let's say that one, right? The numbers will go up a little bit, right? You guys can see that. And then right here, all my gear is, this one's off, by the way. This one here was going to be level 100. We want to make sure it's the level 100 one. So we want to find one that gives you level 100. Okay, that'll be the big difference. So don't put on a level 70. You always want to put a level 100 whenever you can, and that will honestly make a significant difference in your power as well too. So that's probably one of the reasons why you're seeing that number drop a little bit, is because of that. Okay, so try to find something that'll give you guys both HPs here, right? Right here, you guys can see the numbers are, I'm looking for double HP for the most part. There's a double HP one. And then this one here, if I can max this out and then enhance it, if I had good HP, that's not bad. We can probably take advantage of this one and boost it up quite a bit. So let's just go here. Let's see what we get out of this one. Okay, I'm going to try to go 1.3. Hold on, let's get something in the ones. There we go. Perfect. That's what we want. Additional HP, we'll get a little bit in that. That was not bad. That was 590, 575 out of 590. That one could be a little bit better. 145, we'll stick with that one. And defense pen, you want around the 800s if you can, okay? So try to get that up a little bit. 740, we'll go a little more. Let's go here. And then watch, I'll equip it and you'll see the difference, right? 790, 690, let's go a little more. Let's get higher. I always try to get in the 800s, right? I don't want to be too much of a difference. 790 again, this is just bad luck right now. Wow, 590. 540, that's the lowest. Okay, here. There we go, 865, perfect. Okay, so let's just take this. Let me see if I can reforge. I can reforge this one, right? Perfect. I'm gonna reforge this right now. Okay, so we reforged it. There we guys go. So obviously if I put this one on, right? This one right here, you should see a significant difference in power increase. 3,898. So there you guys go. And then that will put me at 79K HP and 356. Again, I can push this even further a little bit if I wanted to get my cores up. But at the end of the day, that right there is what you guys are looking for in regards to power. So there you guys go. That's the idea, oh guys. That's how the breakdown works. So artifacts, double stats all the time. Flat on all of your cores. Try to get it to 15, of course. A10 weapon, you don't need to go past A5 if you don't want to. That's your choice, and get your skills up. The more you get your skills up, you'll see right here. Watch, the difference is going to be about 300. 287, right? It still makes a difference, right? So we're now at 357. So if I were to take my full water team, for example, let's just go here, manage presets. If I go to my water team right there, it says 179. If I edit this real quick, right, you'll see over here total power. One of my cores are missing on Cha, I think. There you guys go. So let's put Cha's core back on. You'll see right there, I'm at 1819. Okay, and when it comes down to including shadows and remnant power. So there you guys go. That's how it's done. You guys now see the difference between having good artifacts, good cores, and not good cores. That's how I'm able to get my A5s up there, including my gems, obviously. So 357 is the highest you can get here for her. And then the rest are around 330 something. All right, guys. Hopefully this helped out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the live stream or in the next video. Take care.